Guess I don't need this. Thought I needed this. I just got on my roof to take off the swamp cooler cover because it's stuffy. Let's see. We're gonna make too many shadows. There. Stanley, there's the best part in the world, me. Kitty, 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 kitty. You gotta go. Mom's sleeping. Then I just get it on here and do a talky talk for a while, since I'm not tired yet. Talk about some things in the world. Well, a lot of people already we're off to the horsey races in the year of the horse. We're a lot of people are getting knocked off their high horse. That Timberlake dude, I remember somebody told me back in like 2008 that they caught him making out with a dude backstage at a concert in Miami. So, it tracks. The guy I like to call America's poster boy for deadbeat dads gets permission to go to Italy because his dad's there in the club, you know, the machismo club. After making a fool out of himself, gets permission to go to Italy just so he can make a fool out of himself someplace else. See, when I watch people act like that, they remind me why I don't do the things that they do. Ideas of grandiosity mixed up with an inferiority complex makes the machismo in America. Dude yelled in some chick's face and she was completely bothered. Cause see, us broads, us chicks, we're used to being bothered. We're used to having guys scream in our face. Women are used to being told, "You're a piece of crap." Go hold yourself in the corner. Give yourself pats and circles. Tell yourself it's gonna be okay. Societies have fallen for less. They've collapsed for less. But I never lived on the same world as everybody else. Everybody said, "No, you can't do that." All the while I'm watching people do the things that they're telling me I can't do. I remember one time I just got out of basic training. This was back in 2001. And they were taking us on a bus. What up? To Wichita Falls, Texas, from San Antonio, Texas. Okay? Now, a whole bus full of airmen. Now, Wichita Falls, it was mostly age and like SPs, security police that went to tech school there. They had other things too. Like, I think they had maybe linguists. They had like a med group, things like that. So, homeboy, the bus driver, asked everybody on the bus, "Hey, you guys, you ever seen that movie Gladiator?" Stuff like that, and it was big back then. They're like, "Yeah." Dude took a bus full of airmen to his house in a cul-de-sac so he could run in and get a bag of VHS so we could watch movies. Now, do you think that there's rules, regulations, policies, and procedures that essentially, because we veered off the path, the dude was like kidnapping a whole bunch of airmen, but it was for the good of the whole, so it's cool. So we got to watch Gladiator on a bus from San Antonio. I fell asleep. The movies like that bore me. All the gung-ho, let's kill them because we can, because we're trying to prove all that stuff is silly. Like civilizations collapse because of that stupid nonsense. And then the whole country, like last year, $4 billion is what they spent on male enhancement drugs, and obviously they didn't work because whenever I go out in the world, I keep looking for all the men that are gonna make America better again, and they're not hiding out in Taos, New Mexico. I tell you that. They're not hiding out in, Italy with the Pope. All these people tell themselves that if I do this, I am an important person. I don't care who people are. I care with what people do with what they are. And we're in 2026, and it's like not everybody can go in and go to the doctor still. But if you enlist in the military, you'll never get a doctor bill. You'll never get a medical bill. How come every American can't have that? How come every American doesn't, how come moms that are raising kids by themselves, how come they don't get hazardous duty pay? Why isn't that a thing? See, because people that haven't gone through accentuating circumstances, they don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like. People that are trying to determine, they don't get food to eat because they should have made better choices, and I get to designate who gets the funds for food. Like, all that stuff, that just totally negates the fact that we're autonomous beings. That's like, America, we're living in a dictatorship. The dick's in the shape of a tatership. Or maybe it's an egg. I don't know. America's been going down the toilet for a long time. I get news from places I lived before, and these places, they're just like every other place I live. They talk about how wonderful the place they like. The whole state of Nebraska, it's the good life. Nebraska's the good life. Until I open my feed and I see how somebody drove into Mama's Pizza out on 96 and Pacific. I've been there. I've had pizza there. It's okay. I don't like when pizza places put sugar in the tomato sauce. That's weird. And every time I see something like that, I'm like, Nebraska's not really such the good life. It has problems just like every place else, and people are making bad choices all over. I go out in the world and I just see, I can drive. See, I'm used to driving 10, 15 miles an hour on the flight line for. They put me in a truck, and that's what the speed limit was. And then they would put urgencies on me. You got to do this, 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 and this. Go, 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 go. And what I learned is other people's urgency is not mine. Like, the precedents that other people put on me, it's not for me. And so whenever on the media, when I see things that are happening out there in the world, that I'm supposed to be afraid of, I think about the time that they sent me off to Crete in 03. They sent me off to Crete to fight a war. And I saw what it entails to fight a war. And it's a whole bunch of dudes with inferiority complexes and ideas of grandiosity. They legit tried to bring me up on orders because some girl who was a linguist out of a guard unit, what's up? I was just thinking about New Orleans, because that LaBeouf dude is being a douche again. Like, I bet New Orleans doesn't want him there. Like, people make places, they give places a bad rep. And because, stupid shows like The Sopranos that are based on real life, they're, Mom's asleep. I just tucked Mom in, so I was doing a live as a bedtime story for her. But I was thinking about my time in New Orleans. Like, I drove across that bridge, and I didn't even know what that bridge was back in 2010, the world's longest bridge. And then I went over other bridges in Florida and stuff, because I get tripped out on bridges, because I don't really have a whole lot of faith in the people that make them. And so, and like that I swam in that poncha that lake and stuff. Like, and I guess that's not good to do. I got to see alligators. I got to go up in the like, cause I went to Hammond, cause I had an AA sponsor that was taught at SELU, life mentor, all a bunch of Freemasons, and I wouldn't go along with the club. And they didn't like me. People get so mad at me when I won't buckle and cave and be the person they want me to be. And as soon as people start like indicating how I should, yeah, Pontchartrain, that place. I did the whole crawdads. I hate oysters because I grew up in, well, I had spent a couple years when I was real young in Morro Bay, and it's a texture, it's a slimy thing. But I try it, and then I'm like, I learn about what oysters are, and they're bottom drudgers. They're basically yuck, nasty. But when in Rome, but I'm not a Roman. I don't, and then I gotta learn to say no to things I don't want to do. But I used to do all this stuff just to try it. Like I like New Orleans because I remember back pit bulls and parolees. That chick is still on. It's weird how people evolve. There's this one lady on TikTok I'm tripping out about it. Crawfish, yeah, I don't like it. I had that in Omaha. They had crawfish joes or something like that because they're big on, because of the Missouri River right there. They're big on like catfish, and I was in the military, so we always got hour and a half, 2 hour lunches to go eat at restaurants for whatever reason, really. You don't really need to pick a reason. But, like, I don't know, it's like, it's too close. I guess I ate too close and I ate the poop, so it turned me off. But I don't need to eat stuff like that. When I was in tech school, tech school, Wichita Falls, I had alligator. That was like that was a really busy night. That was weird. I hardly remember that meal. I used to drink too much, so a lot of stuff is like, questionable. But then that was back at when I was watching True Blood a lot. You know? But the way I look at the world though is everything on TV, there's a universe for that world. Like the show that Mom watches, Castle. Sausage and chicken gumbo. We went to a place in Hammond and they made gumbo, and it's like there's a lot of good flavors in it, but it's I had a hard time with gumbo. That was a flavor thing, not a texture thing. But I only had it once, You can't judge a book by the last page of the book. You can't just like taste it one recipe that the whole region's known for and then just eat that one, and just be like, oh, no, it's not the sum of all parts. So I would try things again. I have a hard time with seafood. I get sockeye salmon for Mom, and I'll eat like the crispy parts, the overdone parts on the end, kind of thing. But I can't do. See, and I kind of think it kind of goes with my ideology that I'm starting to see that like Hellboy was a documentary. And like the government has been doing genetically modified testing for as long as they can. So it's like some part of me, I've had meditation sessions before where I breathe through my stomach kind of thing. It's weird. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm one of those that holds my breath. I can hold my breath for a long time. Well, I used to be able, when I was 15, 14, I'd go down and visit my dad, and we didn't have a lot of talked about, but what he would do is he'd take me to the gym, and then I'd work out when he worked while he worked out. So, and he was a swimmer, and he did like the marathon part of swimming, not the running part because of his bad hips. But he always did the swimming part, like in the ocean and stuff. And I used to be able to hold my breath the whole distance, 75 yards. I believe that's what the length of the point was, 75 yards. I would panic at the end. I'd be riding and, but it was just like, do it, do it, do it, do it. I always have little contests with myself. No, absolutely not. Not whatsoever. No, not even a little bit. Nope, not a fan. Nope, there's no such thing as the golden one either. I don't care what your mom tells you. Oh, man, the world's going in the toilet because all these little mama's boys in the world, they don't know how to do anything but hold their little controller and play video games. And then they go out and get in their cars that their moms buy them. And then they go race around because it makes their little D tickle. So stupid. They're saying people are like having boycotts, like, don't have kids, just don't have kids, just don't feed the system. Like, don't have kids until like 2029. I'm like, why would anybody want to bring children onto this earth if they're not going to do anything actively to make the world a better place? Just having your kids, people think, I have my kids, and because they come from my loin, the world is a better place because of it. Like, there are these ideologies, that Nick Cannon guy, that Elon Muskrat dude. These are all dudes that think my sperm is gonna fix them. They're no different than Epstein, who's trying to spread himself around. It's all the same stuff. It's all a bunch of wackadoo dudes that always end up on male enhancement drugs that just never work. Even the people that are gung-ho, it's like, what are you gung-ho about America? Like, you still believe that America is like the land of the free? And people are getting shot every day in every city. Like, America every day looks more like a third world country because we did bullshit in places we had no business. And now we're getting the energy back that we put out in the way of karma. So America's going down the toilet because we flexed and did shit that we didn't need to do. We did. See, just because you can do things doesn't mean you should do things. There's so many children on this world that are born to people that never, ever, ever, ever should have had children. Ever in their lives. Never. Lock them knees. Don't procreate. You don't have the golden parts to make the golden child. Nobody does. Nobody on planet Earth has had that kid that made the world a better place. That one. Nope, haven't done it. So maybe people should just collectively stop bringing people that make garbage on the earth. Like, it's so weird. The world is so much different than it used to be. Now, people do stupid stuff and then they leave. Their cars end up on the side of cliffs and stuff like that. They just leave them there. They don't even recover them anymore. But if a piece of cellophane flies out of my car and a cop sees me, he's going to pull me over and give me a ticket for littering. And somebody explained to me this, since there's meteorites that are falling all over every place now, because once it happens once, it's going to happen everywhere. And so, like, how do rocks make it through the firmament, yet rockets can't make it out? Can you explain to me that? I'll wait. No. Because we live in a contrived reality. Rest in peace to that TikTok lady that used to come across my FYP. She did astrology TikToks, and she would do she had she had long hair. She would do like get ready with me's with the makeup, and she would talk astrology, and like people would say I'm dating a blah, and then she'd be like, you know, compatible or whatever. She got killed by her ex-husband. See, you guys, women, you gotta be careful, because guys, they lose they're way more emotional than women are, because women, like, we've had to like learn to, like, I don't know, when I was growing up I had to learn to suck it up. Like, you gotta pretend like you feel good so you don't make anybody else around you feel bad, because you don't want to be the Debbie Downer. And I started like cramps and all that female crap that I always hated when I was 9 years old. Yet I'd have to pretend like I was skipping on daisies and I wasn't living a hell every month, you know? And then people would tell me I complain and stuff. I'm like, well, you don't know what it feels like, because it really hurts. Like every day, the first day, it's like a stuffed pig. It's gross. I hated it. I hated what I did, you know, because I'm a 9-year-old girl. I was in the 4th grade. Adults don't want to accept the fact that this 9-year-old girl was already on the rag. And I hated it. And I'm glad I'm done with it. I'm post menopause, whatever, all that. I did my sentence. I never had no kids. I didn't bring no kid onto this earth. I didn't ruin nobody's brain and psyche. Nobody can blame me for their miserable life. Nobody can go out and freaking break my heart, because I taught them how to respect themselves and how to have reverence for life, but they didn't do that, so they wrapped their car around, and God forbid they end up hurting themselves or something. See, because if any kid came from me, that's what they would have ended up on. And I'm in the group that I didn't have kids because I didn't want to add to this shit of what the world is. Because I see too many brats, and it's like, okay, your kid's 12, that's how it behaves, okay? But not all. For every 99 brats, there's the one that's not. And like, there's a cool kid today riding his bike around. I went down to get a chili cheese dog at Legacy Cafe. I like to do from time to time. You order it and then you go walk around, and then I got to see, I can never remember her name. She's the candy lady. She owns the candy shop, and I get to do videos, and then I put those up on TikToks. You know, and she's talking about like what she does in the community, and having to deal with all the construction and the nonsense that they just drag their feet and allocate themselves they started out $5.2 million for this freaking bullshit in the Taos Town Square. And they started it when I moved here 5 years ago. And 6 years ago? God, how long have I lived in New Mexico now? That's a nice thing to say. I'm not a queen. I'm more like a joker. I learned how to play chess when I was 2, though. So, yeah. I'm one of those. I thought I was stupid, but turns out I was smart. But I just wasn't around other people. Hey, what's up? I was thinking about. I ran into this young kid today, and it's like. It's the young people that deserve a world that they don't have to worry about freaking going out in the world and having to duck bullets. It's getting, but I mean, even where I live, it gets dangerous. I just try to go out when other people. Why? That's not a thing. I don't need money. I don't do these for money. There's no donation. That's silly. See, that's why I've been doing these videos 9 years, just telling my truth about how I see the world. What's up? And I'm not compromised by anybody. There's nobody saying, Marge, you can't talk about this and you can't talk about that. That's why my channel will never be no big, because I talk trash about the things that people really like about America, and I think they're stupid. Like the Freemasons and all that stuff. Went downtown to see. Don't donate plasma. Dude, don't donate blood. Don't donate plasma. See, I'm trying to. Okay. Maybe I might have to break into AI. Yeah, I remember you. You're the one with the little with the. I always see. That's the thing is like my channel's not for kids. But kids need guidance. But I wonder where your parents are. Because it's like late where you are. And I know you're not like a kid. You're like 14 or 15 and you know about like grown up stuff, but I just am not gonna talk about stuff I ordinarily would talk about kind of thing. Not that I don't know. Like the kid I was talking about today, he had a helmet on, he had an e-bike. He was parked right in front of my car, that's why I saw him. And but I didn't want to like startle him. I just was like, and I was also wolfing down my chili cheese dog. And then I get in my car, and then my car wouldn't start. But it didn't matter because it was a really nice day. And then I'm like wondering, like, where are this kid's parents? Like, he's like 13. And then I remember what I was doing when I was 13 years old. I didn't have a bike to ride. When I was 13 years old, we just moved back to Central Valley, California, and we're homeless. I was homeless when I was 13 years old. For a little while. And then Mom found a little cabin. And that's where we lived until I graduated high school. Like, in that time period, that's when they said, you're autistic. Like, I learned about what happened to me when I was a baby, 10 months old. No, I didn't have to. It's fine. I'm taking it to the shop soon, and I'm just gonna have them run every diagnostic. I think that's what happened before. Is I have a reverse polarity situation, and because somebody hooked their jumper cables up to my battery, I didn't do it, so I own it. I take full responsibility, and they put the negative on the positive and the positive, and so like, and then I realized, and I yanked it off and broke the contact, but still it set things the wrong way. And so, but then again, I have no faith in Metric Motors, and they did my tune-up and charged me like $1,400 for my maybe was that, yeah, it's like for my, I was like, yeah, maybe, I can't remember how it was. That one was 5 or 14, but then they got me for $3,000 for bullshit. So, but I just want this other shop to like take all the spark plugs out and put on new, make sure that the space, because people are dumb and they don't know have good business practice or maintenance practices. So there's cycles and things that you're supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to perform any maintenance on a vehicle with the battery connected, and I bet Metric does. So yeah. Anyway, weather's nice. I had to go up on the roof and take off the swamp cooler cover. People are out racing around. I had to pull over. I drive the back roads in because I just like to go slow, nice and slow. 25, 30 miles an hour speed limits are, right? And then I look in the mirror, somebody comes racing up because they're feeling it. They're feeling spring. They're feeling it. I'm like, dude, you're in Taos. What are you in a hurry to do? Where are you? Are you racing off to make Taos, New Mexico a better place? Is that what you're doing? Here, let me just get out of your way. Just went into a Zoom call and said, why would they do that? Are you? I don't know what that means to people. My brother is one. My brother's practice wife, her dad was a Nazi. My brother's practice wife, her dad, like, and her brother was like into radio, where they have all the privilege and advantage, the gatekeepers. Like, so I don't know what that means. My brother's one of them Freemason guys, the Nazi guys, the superior guys, ideas of grand, the ones that are ruining the whole planet right now. I can't hate the guy though, because we look so much alike. My dumb face looks just like his dumb face. So if I hate him whenever I look in the mirror, I'm gonna hate me. I don't even know what that means. I think you're making up stuff. If I go to your channel, are you going to have YouTube videos there and you're going to tell me all the things that are clear? Make sure that what you mean is clear? Like, are you going to explain yourself? Like, I don't even know what that means. You just want to disrupt? You disruptor? See, I get a lot of disruptors because I'm a heyoka, I'm a contrarian. So I get a bunch of clowns in my channel that go blah, blah, blah. And if they tell me what they mean, I don't even know. You're going to be alright, though. You'll be alright. If your mom's still alive, go give her a hug. Go do something useful. I don't know what that is. Blah, blah, blah. Songs. People are warped. But hey, this song that's in my ear right now, anybody from Sacramento, around Sacramento in the 90s, they had this gay bar in Sacramento called Faces, and then they had this bartender in the front bar, Large Marge. That's my name, not Large Marge. I hate that. That's stupid. My name's Marge. And then they had this drag queen named Large Marge in the bar. And like, I would sit on I always just sit back and watch people drink my frat boy beer, my white boy beer, Bud Light, and just sit and watch people. And people aren't really a fan of me. Yeah, so anyway, I trigger people a lot. It's something about their demons. I bother people. I've bothered people so much, I've been kicked in the face and knocked down a flight of stairs before. Because somebody didn't like my kind. I'm like, what kind is that? My left-handed kind? Like what? My female kind? Because, God, whoever would have thought so many men hate women in America? My whole life, people are like, you're a man hating, blah. And I'm like, I don't hate men. I don't like when men are abusive and beat women up. I hate that. And if they keep doing that, then yeah, I'm going to hate them. But if people change their behavior and evolve past themselves, then there might be hope for the human race slowed to a stroll. The playing field is leveling, is what I see. She had all these people that had all this advantage for so long, and they didn't do anything good with it. And now it's catching up to them. People are talking about getting fit. Ooh, get fit. You should get fit, this astrologer, Robert. You should get fit. I'm like, dude, I told you 3 years ago you should get fit, and you misheard me because you went and got a fib. Duh. And then you have the other astrologers. They're always, pay me to hear what I say. And not even the other astrologers, just the influence. These people are freaking out. They're already talking about how donations are dropped off. Because it's all well and good when you can go to Starbucks every day. In life, you could just buy whatever you want, do whatever you want, and throw your money at people too. And then things start getting tight, and then people start cutting corners. Generosity is not the corner that should be cut. It should be Starbucks, and then keep being generous, because that is what's kept and sustained me the last 7 years, is acts of kindness to people. I've been making cookies for people. Your mom told you that you had the golden wiener, and she lied to you. And so now you got to go overcompensate what it is to be a man because your dad failed too. It's all right. There's a lot of deadbeat dads in America. I hope you're not one of them. Are you a deadbeat dad too? Do you have illegitimate children in the world, like all these influence hobos that are walking around? They all have children. It's like, stop making messes that you can't clean up or account for. All these cool people out there, like New Mexico, full of people with STDs. You know how people get STDs? From a dude doing an animal. That's how STDs are made. But dudes are like, we're the superior race, and if you don't like it, we're gonna kick your ass. And where I live, like, they get guns because they can't look down and see their wieners. The country that I live in, it's like, it's a total overcompensation thing. I'm gonna get a full arsenal because I need a mirror. I need to look in a mirror to be reminded that I'm a man. What is it to be a man in America? Have a bunch of kids you don't pay for. Buy a bunch of Harleys. Buy boats. Go on vacation. Do whatever you want whenever you feel like it. You know, and treat women like trash, because in your mind, they're all lot lizards, right? Because women are just supposed to freaking exist so that they can pop off your non-existent golden little tinkers? Dude, if there were actual men in the United States of America, it wouldn't be going down the toilet right now. If there were like, it would have been over-riddled by toxic masculinity. With their lifted trucks, racing around with their 3D printed parts. I went into a phone store last week, and I was just watching, just like from the stoplight, just truck after truck, just Hito with the zoomies, just another shit stain on the fabric of society, making noise, not doing anything to make a community better, but hey, we're just gonna make a lot of noise because that's just what men do. If men were winning in America, would so many women be switching teams right now? I don't think so. There's so many women that are like, oh my god, I'm gay. Yeah, I get it, because you can't find any dudes that can't get it up without pills. Or without being violent. Like, because they grow up watching the Pornhub and all that weird stuff where it's like, dude, they don't care about you as a female. You could be a goat to them. You could be a dog, like whatever they're telling themselves, you know, to rocket themselves into the net. Sex is so stupid. Like, why, like, it is such a dumb thing, yet so many people are chasing the sensation. So they're looking for, what, is it a relief thing? Because sex is dumb. Like, people shouldn't have sex unless they're trying to have kids. How about that be a thing? Nobody has sex no more unless you're going to bring a beautiful little baby onto this world. And if you don't want to do that, lock them up. Lock up them legs. The world don't need no children unaccounted for, because once your parents figure out you don't like your kid because you don't know astrology, so why would a Virgo man have a Pisces boy? Like, do you just, it's just a mother and daughter dynamic with wieners. Like, I come from a bloodline where they deliberately, intentionally, like they will take you on ritual what days. They'll put stuff in you to make you female to male or male to female. That's what they did to Jamie Lee Curtis. They did the same thing to me. So I have all this masculine energy and I never had penis in me. I never once had penis in me because in my mind it's just more parts that break. It's just more disappointment for women. And I'd already seen women be so disappointed in their lives that would just add to it, I think. Can you imagine Like, you can't do what your body is intended to do without medication. Could you imagine, like how demoralizing that potentially could be to so many men in America because they drink too much? So that makes people, that gives dudes head erectile. It's because their brains are broke, so they're that makes girls sad, especially if the ones that are all about it. Like they'll. It doesn't matter if homeboy's a complete trash heap. They just gotta get it in. Like, I've known women like that, and then they get STDs, and I'm just like, you still gotta get it in. Like, do you think people want to do that with you now because you're dirty? But I guess then you find other people that are ick. You find them, and the ick travel together. Where do us clean people go? Where do we gather? Where do us people that like don't smoke, don't drink, what do? Nothing. Eat some candy sometimes. But I channel my energy into more positive things, and to do things that don't just serve me, but like this morning I woke up Mom. I said, Ma, I said, when Mom's waking up, I said, Mom, I said, I'm not the one that's going to save the world. I'm not going to make the world a better place, Mom. What I can do, Mom, is I can make the world a better place for you. And then that's what matters. Then that's two people the world is a better place for. All these people are like, over there, out there, external, external, external. I said, and then it always comes back to we only go to war because grown men are conflicted with themselves. They have conflict in themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like how they behave. They don't like how they behave. So they overcompensate. And women too. It's not just a gender thing. It's an energy thing. You got all these nasty chicks that are doing underage boys, just like nasty dudes that are doing underage chicks. It's not a gender thing. It's a freaking you got freaking wires crossed and you're sick and twisted, and you just need to be put away someplace where you're not going to do your weird shit to anybody. Because you spot what you got. People see in other people things that they hate about themselves. I hate lazy people. I don't like. I look around. I'd be like, dude, why do you hate yourself so much that you would sit in a chair and stuff your face and consume, never exercise, and then like your arteries get full of freaking nasty grease and stuff. But hey, have some more bacon and eat another, piece of pie and but never get up and exercise. Don't ever mow a lawn for your neighbor. Don't ever do anything charitable. Just consume. Don't think red or green chili sauce. Just eat it all, because that's what freaking gluttons and pigs do. Because pigs are people too. People are piggy too. You ever see? I see people all the time that look like animal shapes, little women with their little stuffed feet and their little flats and stuff. I'm like, man, isn't that Porky Pig in real life right there? Or like people that we look like turtles. Mom looks like a turtle. We got that turtle look. We encompass the animal spirit. But when people don't have spirits, when they're so narcissistic that they're like a sponge that's saturated with oil, and it's trying to soak up a little water, which is spirit, but it just can't, because they have no soul. There's so many soulless that are walking the earth. They're everywhere. I see them in freaking the dollar store in Taos. They're just ugly. And they're only 20s, 30s, like young. Like, why are you so young and you just gave up in life? You just, like, why are you walking around with a soda and Family Dollar on a nice day? Go do hills, go do drills. It's none of your business. I saw one episode and that was it. I can't. I'm a grown up. Why am I going to watch that? I don't. I tried to watch one episode and it came on. I don't even remember when it came on, and I'm like, no, that's not my vibrational frequency. You know what else is in my shit is Pokemon. Like what? That's like That's like, how could we get a bunch of people to do unuseful shit and then we'll tell them that they're better for it? It's that whole Pokemon thing. Like what is that? Like it's a whole vibrational frequency of mind numb. I remember I used to go around in Omaha when I lived there before I moved back in 2016, and I would take pictures of stuff, artsy stuff in downtown where I worked. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why are all these people out? They're just staring at their phones, and it's because that dumb old poke. I mean, yeah, it's cool they got people out. You're also feeding a eye back 10 years ago. You're also, providing information, unbeknownst to you, so some rich asshole can get richer. So stuff like that, I just rather not participate in. And then I look at all the people that, are into that time suck, complete time suck. Look at all the people that are all gung-ho military. Yay, they're excited we're off. Flexing what? Dude, the military is the biggest joke in the world. They're a bunch of underpaid actors. Washington, D.C. is no different than Hollywood. They're both exist to get people to make them believe America's a great place. We're a superpower. We ain't shit. We ain't shit, dude. Every time I see military members on the media, they just don't even have the cast of characters to play the role of what it is to be a soldier. And you don't have people that are smart enough to do the things like perform everyday maintenance, because by design we dumbed ourselves down. See, because at least my generation, our memory was built on phone numbers, because you had to remember phone numbers. What do people remember now? What do they have to remember? And you know why you have to have cognitive abilities to be able to remember? Because when you're in the military, for every maintenance action, for every action you do in maintenance, there's a technical order. There's an instruction book that you have to have right next to you, open up to the page of the instruction of the maintenance action that you're performing. So if you don't, your memory's dumb, if you're dumb and you read on the page of maintenance instruction, you have, or you have to have a measure of this, or a measure of that with your multimeter or whatever, and then you read it on the page and then go over here and you can't comprehend what the word says, that machine could blow up and people could die. Product of siblings. I get so many product of siblings on my channel. Just a bunch of unuseful nonsense. But they don't think America's a great place. Is America a great place? I think New Mexico should drop the end and just call itself Ew, Mexico, because it was such good friends to Epstein. It still loves the ideology. Taos Valley loves its picture of Epstein up at Taos Valley. Look, we're so popular. Perverts hang out here. Because that's America. Do you know anybody that had an adult touch them in inappropriate ways? I was 10 months old. My hip still pops, but that's okay, right? People think it's funny, they think it's cute, and then meet me on the street one day and think it's funny and it's cute. See, because I'm a survivor, and I'm an anomaly survivor, because usually people that are born on my birthday, they're all about ego. They're highly egocentric, so they do end up doing the gross, pervy stuff like Epstein. I just don't want to be like the pervert, so I did the opposite and became a fucking prude. A prude. No, I don't want to do ya. No, I don't want to go on a date with ya. No, I don't want to do all that weird stuff that, ooh, human beings just make such precedence about. Like, no, you don't need me anyway. You got a box of Kleenex and go warm up an apple pie like that movie made so popular, because that's what America's about. It's just chasing sensations and butt stuff. And that's the stuff that people think is really funny until they hear my stories and they're like, oh my God, I didn't really mean it. Then shut the fuck up. Like, why is anybody on the internet talking about war if they've never gone to war? So they're giving their perspective. I've been to war, so I know what bullshit it is. But to people have an opinion on one side or another, I'm like, are you people stupid? It's a circle jerk of greed. And if you're not going to participate and go along with the role in the story, because I wouldn't. I was talking shit about the military when I was in the military. And then they tried to get me, like, give me LORs and stuff, letters of reprimand, stuff like that. And I'm just like, you people are stupid. I don't care. I saw 550 Marines leave from Crete and Suda Bay in 03 to go do shock and awe in Baghdad, and then came back and trashed the base because they were all fucking did shit that Marines do in wartime that they're not given orders to do, but boys just get carried away. They trash the whole base because they fucking rape people and shit, because that's what boys do in wartime. They just get all excited and they can't help themselves, but these women can't fucking report anyway because nobody cares what the women in Baghdad. It's the same shit in Vietnam. Same stuff. Men do gross things in war. Then they go around saying, and they were on Crete and Baghdad in 03. You weren't there. Shut up. You weren't there. You were one of the 550 Marines, and then you're trying to tell me that they have 2,500 now. Dude, they can't get 2,500 dudes that are not willing to get off their couch and stop jerking off because their girls don't want them no more. And I wonder how many Marines are Pisces and Virgos and Cancer men and Gemini. You know, all the ones that are overcompensating because they just want to be held and be little spoon. Then go fucking be little spoon and stop wanting to kill people in places we have no fucking business, because that simper sucks. Dude, those guys were fucking crying and pissing all over themselves. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe my mom would be so disappointed in me. Dude, all military is where shitballs go. All valor is stolen. And especially if you're in the military in 2026. It's all about gay while away and getting hazardous duty pay and tax-free when we're the asshole. And then you wear your little buttons and your little ribbons and have parades for yourself talking about, that's cool, that's dope. That's blood money. I hope you do useful things with blood money. I do useful things with my blood money. I get blood money too. But I got 8 anthrax vaccines in 03 when I got back from Crete after we bombed Iraq. After shock and awe. They're like, here, thank you for your service. We're going to try and kill you off with 8 anthrax vaccines. We'll give you 2 at a time. We'll wait 2 months to see if you're dead. But see, what you understand is they were doing the COVID mRNA bullshit vaccines on us back in 03. That's why when they rolled the bullshit out 5 years ago, it was so quick. They've been testing it on military members, retards, people on Social Security, whoever's just take what we give you because that's what you get for 15 years, because that's what America does. We're gonna use you up. We'll suck on your loosh as long as you're willing and able to go to NFL games and do bullshit, worthless things like the Macy's parade for decades and the Oscars. That's still a thing? Like, come on. I don't need to take anything. You know why? Because I'm not a man that needs little pills. 4 billion, dude. 4 billion. 4 billion. If you can find a girl that's gonna want to see your hairy ass, your hairy butts, and your gross face, go the fuck away. Get off my channel, bitch. Like, they're everywhere. I'm a man! If I had a square acre for every fucking loser that said, you just haven't been with the right one. Well, they've been pushing themselves on me since I was a 10-month-old baby, so probably not a right one for me. Like, I never wanted to marry a dude. Like, I would cry at night because the idea of having to marry a dude because of what happened to me as a baby, because all dudes have that in them. Because they're all just trying to look for a place to put it. And if they put it in something that's not going to report or can't talk, then that's all right. It's just another notch on their belt. That's how a lot of these guys, dude, narcissistic dudes, they will do their own daughters and sons just because in their mind they're doing themselves. So no, I don't hate men. Not a fan. Don't have a whole lot of examples of good ones in the world. Have seen a lot of bullies, a lot of dickheads, a lot of dudes in the police force and shit like that fucking use resources to bully me because they had a beef with me personally. And then I think about where they come from. They come from the military. And I remember when I asked my recruiter, are police the dumbest? Are they the lowest test scores in the military entrance exam? And then they tell me, no, they're the second lowest test scores. So they get people with egocentric personalities. They say, hey, come enlist, we'll give you guns, you can drive cars, you'll get all the best equipment. You know, all you have to do is be a cop and then they go and do 2 years, maybe 4, and then get out and then go back home with 4 years. They don't got no high school degree, they don't got no GED, but because they said, you're going to sign up to defend my country. No, you're going to learn how to be a bully the right way. And then they get out and then they take the law into their own hands. And how many of those people roam the earth now? Police that just decide who the bad guy is and who the good guys are. And it's like, I don't have a whole lot of faith and judgment of dumb people. And based on the fact that they are the second lowest test scores in the military entry exam, that tells me that they shouldn't probably have guns, maybe more tasers. Overcompensation. I've seen it my whole life. But I will say this, dude, stop, well, no, that's not true. I can't even say that, too. I can't say that either. I could pick a bully out in the crowd because they like to bully me. I don't like to bully people. I say whatever I want on my channel. Do I go out in the world and impose my... No, I just look at people and be like, if you start now, 10 years, you'll be fit. You can reverse the damage that you've done to yourself from just doing all the things that you want all the time, 100% of the time. Like, parents Would parents have kids in 2026? Are they making sure they're healthy? Because most kids are autistic. So you better make sure that your heart's in order, your blood pressure is in order, everything is in order so you live forever, because there ain't no agency that's going to take care of your precious little sweetie the way that you're gonna. Go away. If you're saying what, it ain't for you. Go away. I'm not for dummies. So if you're a dummy, this isn't the place for you. Go back to your GTA. Go back to your joystick. Go do something useful. Go mow the neighbor's lawn. There's hungry people everywhere. Make a meal. Go make some homeless people some food. Don't sit on my tube and just be like, what? That's stupid. So, you know how I'm not stupid? Because this is how I spend my days. The power of myth. I listen to a lot of astrology though, also, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in the astrologers. Like that Leo Cup dude, he's the most scantily haired Leo I have ever seen. So if you can't even represent your sun sign, oh wait, he's the AI astrologer. He's the build your own freaking database of AI. Why don't you go build your relationship with your son, you poser? American Vision and Values. This guy was my teacher in college, Dr. Ed Rawhut. Hey, I was gonna make this thumbnail. How do you see the moon? Wait a minute, you're in Louisiana. You're over there. I'm going to use as a picture for my thumbnail the moon of a picture that I took about, like, right before I started this live. I was outside. I took a picture of the moon. It's over there. And Venus is below it. So how do you see the moon in Hammond, Louisiana, which is 2 hours ahead of me, when it's falling in the western sky mountain top? I don't believe what this world is. Like, if we talked about the shared, like what we just did, like where the moon is. Here, I'm going to show you a picture of the moon. This is the picture of the moon that I just got. This is at 8 o'clock. Up on the top of the hill. And then Venus is down here. Wait, where's Venus? Oh. Venus is right there. So Venus is an evening star. And then this is the moon at 8 o'clock. And I've been talking for an hour. Again, the crest is on the motto. I know, but you're 2 hours, like, you're thousands of miles from, Louisiana. I always think Louisiana's on the, see, because I get timelines mixed up, because I live on Atlantis, and so in my mind, there's land on the other side of Florida, but you're just on the other side of Texas, so never mind. But still, you are, we'll just say, from where I am in Taos, New Mexico, to, I'll just say, NOLA. Miles. 1,200 miles. So, you're 1,200 miles But I wonder where the moon is now. You're 300 miles west of there, so you're 900 miles from me. Sometimes I have a friend in Chicago, and sometimes we make fun. We talk about how Chicago's like on the other side of the hill. Did you ever see Northern Exposure? There's an episode where what's his face Joel left Alaska and he just walked through the woods and there was the New York skyline with the Trade Center and stuff. And so like I'm like I bet that's how the world really like I don't believe that we're on a globe spinning around. I'm more under the glass dome like we're in a petri dish. It is still there night. I love that show. Yeah, I almost moved to freaking Alaska because of that show, and then I found out it was made in Washington, and then I ended up in Oregon, and it ain't nothing like the show. So don't live someplace because of a program on TV. Same with the Alaskan bush people. Same thing. Like I want to live like that, and then it's like I don't want to live like that. I like electricity. I like to be cool when it's hot outside. I like to be warm when it's cold outside. I like amenities. I don't like disruptions. I like to make places that. Yeah, see, I moved here from Salem, and based on my mentality of a 15-year-old girl, because I always wanted to live in Oregon, but the Oregon that I lived in 2016 was not the same Oregon that it was when I wanted to live there back in the 90s. So I tricked myself and then ended up in Taos, but then found out Mom was born 22 miles from Taos. So I don't live my life for like how like I'm gonna go do this because I want to. No, like everything I've done it for a purpose. Like I enlisted to get a job to take care of my mom because taking care of Mom was always my primary purpose. It was always like I could go play and screw around, but I gotta be home and take care of Mom, make sure she's okay. And then back in 2017 when it was like, you're not going to work anymore, and I'm like, my ego went through this ego death because I was this important soldier. I won awards, I went to like my brother, it took him like 6 years to get his bachelor's and stuff, and I got 2 degrees in like 3 years. But, no, it's exactly like the 90s because we're still doing Operation Desert Storm bullshit. It's still like the 90s. It's just like, I mean, I guess you don't need different went from Eugene. You're still helping your systems. See, Eugene, I had a good time in Eugene. When I was 15, I was like in one of those Church of Religious Science. It was like the youth group, right? Because I always looked for truth. I didn't want to go to gangs and do that weird shit, stuff like that. I did other weird. And so we'd meet at a strip mall. Andrea Golden was and like we do like the light as a, we did all the metaphysical stuff. And we one time we went to Eugene and we went on a hike, the highest point in Eugene. I looked it up a couple years ago. That's cool. And I can't remember what it's called, but we hiked up it and it was like, okay, this is cool. And then we had to make our way down and then like we lost light, got lost a little bit, found our way. It was a trip. Eugene was a good time. But see, I look at like towns as like the frequency of the sum of all parts. I also remember going into the town square where they had like like stores that you walk downstairs, and it smelled like patchouli, and I don't like patchouli. So, been to Ashland. I've been all over Oregon pretty much. I even slept in a southeastern Oregon. There's a little town, and they had a one of those lookouts that you could sleep in, and I went with this chick I knew. Took Benny. I miss Benny so much. Took him down to the fire, and we stayed the night there, and that's how I was like, this is what it's like to live on Mars, because that's what it felt like, and everything was Mars. Like, you looked around like, this is Mars. I'm living on Mars right now. So we just live on an experiential planet. We're just here to have experiences. I just think that more people should have the opportunity to have these experiences. They shouldn't just be limited to military members. Like, military exists because they get the best property. They use guns, so they get the best, beachfront. They get all the best. They get all the best shit. They take it for themselves, and then they call it national security for not sharing, or military intelligence for not, telling the world what they really do in those officers' clubs. Military intelligence is an oxymoron. Military intelligence is an oxymoron. It is absolutely. Like, it is no different. Like, people, when they sit in Hollywood and they're sitting around a table and they're talking, the writers are like talking about ideas. Okay, this is how we're gonna, the story, the character, the story, that the lives are gonna go. Like, whatever show, pick X-Files, like, this is the character development. That is no different than what Washington, D.C. does with the narrative of their Zionic bullshit. Oh, freedom and democracy. They have bombs. We have bombs. How come we can have bombs and we're a bigger threat than them? The guy that runs the Department of Defense is a fucking lush. Did you see that LaBeouf, that deadbeat dad dude, like, flash his like, look, I'm a member of the club. Don't you see I'm a machismo like you, fraternity, order, brotherhood of butt stuff? Like, dude, that guy got a judge. Like, people can't get justice in this world. But that dipshit got signed off because of his status to go to Italy so he could be a shit stain on the fabric of society in a different country. Like, I feel sorry for his daughter. I have a deadbeat dad too, piece of shit. Machismo going out there. Like, look, no, you know who I am, and I'm so important. Dude, you're a tiny little man. It don't even matter if you're 6'5". There's plenty of men in the world, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". You're a tiny little man because all you have is your stature. See, I'm small in stature, but that's not all I have. There's so much more to me than my stature. To think to be a person, like, it's like their claim to fame, like they got jobs because they're a tall person. Like, go be a mover. Go do something useful. And tall people should have to know that, like, you work harder to be fit, because, like, heart disease comes from your feet not pumping blood all the way up to your body not working properly. There's so many unhealthy people in this country just because they sit on their ass and do nothing all day. I can't just sit here and do nothing all day. I've never been able to. Mom would just say, go use your energy wisely, and I go out and ride my bike. And then once I was in nature, then I'm learning. I'm learning about animals and physics and like, don't do that, you'll get hurt. How many people don't have cognitive sense to not do things to keep themselves from being hurt? How come that's not a thing anymore? How come people can't just keep themselves out of harm's way? Why do people have to get in cars, press the gas so much that they're racing around 140, 150, 160, 170 miles an hour? Don't they know that when you tap that brake just a little bit at those speeds, like, whoops, misjudge that. Gonna make your mom and dad cry. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. The speed racers, the speed demons. Why can't people get rid of their demons? Okay, that's fine. You got the zoomies, you got the race arounds in you. That's all well and good. But why can't people teach their kids like they don't have to go chase sensations all the time and teach people how to meditate and get quiet and be okay with just being quiet and being bored? Why is being bored a bad thing and a derogatory term? Just be quiet and sit with your thoughts and think. But see, people can't because they don't like who they are. And as you get older, you get people that are start thinking about things that they've done and they feel real remorseful. They feel bad. But God forbid they try to do anything to amend that, make it right, to like go and make amends to the person that they caused harm to. It's say, you know what? I was a piece of shit to you. I've had to do that when I was in AA. I made several amends and said, you know what? I was a piece of shit. And this is what I did. And I don't want to be a piece of shit like this anymore. So this is how I'm going to change my behavior. And I'm going to do things different. And the trick of it is when you open yourself up and you tell that person that you were a piece of shit to, and that giving that person every ample opportunity, if they feel so fit to be like, yeah, you were a piece of shit. Yeah, you are sorry. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you know, is there anything I could do to make it right? And then be willing to do that thing to make it right. For years I heard people do half-measure poser shit to do amends. And they didn't change the behavior. They still did all the stuff that they did before. They just do it with a smile on their face, maybe. Or do it with a... I don't know. Well, I found that that's what... See, being a part of groups, like the military and AA, and... like I worked in hospitals and I worked in universities and I worked at all these places where like there are these fraternities, these groups, right? Like you join these groups to get privileges. And then whenever I joined groups, and then I'd see that within every single group that exists, there's people in every group that have their own group within the group. And then that spoils the group. And then that's why, like on Northern Exposure, there's lines like Groucho Marx that Holland said, and I never want to be in a club that it would have me, you know, like the Shriners and all that stuff. Like I dodged a bullet by rejection is protection. So when you don't get welcome in to these places of advantage and nepotism and stuff like that, consider yourself lucky. Just consider yourself so fortunate. You dodged a bullet because you aren't like them. Because you didn't sell your soul. You know, like all these people, like we're all the real ones that like still have their same face from when they're a kid. Like all these people talking authenticity, yet they're out there doing something just like somebody else. Every time I see somebody on something that I like on TikTok, before I know it, there's like 4 or 5 people doing that same thing. There's the dude, the dancing noodle guy, Ting Ting. I like him because we dance similar, you know. But they're saying like influencers come and they go because that's how life is people pop into your radar if you become in alignment with them. I wasn't much. I mean, I don't like to join. I joined for a means to an end. Like I didn't join. I was always one of those like I'm never going to join the military. You can't tell me what to do. Until Mom got her head slammed in a car door, and I was like, I'll do anything, and if that's what I have to do to get a good job. Because you have to go to college, because that's how it was. That was my program. But I didn't get the nepotism. I don't get the nepotism that my Freemason family. I'm the scapegoat. I'm the one that, like, Like, what does your computer screen say? Like, why am I getting denied when I'm qualified for what I'm here asking for? Like, I know because I looked at what I need to qualify, and I fit all the markers. But you're telling me on your screen somebody designate no, she's not. She don't get it. Let me talk to your manager. Oh, they're out of the office. Then let me talk to their boss. Let me go up the chain of command. No, I'm just going to put you off until you leave our building. Okay. I couldn't even get food stamps in Taos, New Mexico. And I definitely qualified. Now I don't need them. But it's just like there's gatekeepers in all the systems. But if your mom got hurt and you promised to never put her in a home, you might, but see, like, we say these things and then circumstances happen that kind of makes the things we say go out. And you really find out who people are when someone you care about gets hurt and they can't live their life the way that they wanted to anymore. That's why I had such a hard ego death in Salem when I became a stay-at-home daughter, because I thought I had more time to do what I wanted to do, and God said, no, you don't. And so I started drinking again after like 14 years sober, because that felt like I can't control about what's happening in my life, but I can get wasted. That was dumb. And that I drank for like 7 months, mostly wine tasting. I never was a wine drinker, but I always wanted to know the lingo. Like, what do they mean? Legs. This wine has legs. And then I learned what it meant, and I was like, what a pretentious, stupid, dumb world to be in. Ooh, nutty, earthy, like really, like rinse, repeat. So I quit drinking again, and no, I never lived like my life out. Like when I was growing up, mom was checking out. I took care of my mom was checked. Yeah, like that, and that's how we're the ones that are gonna help the world get better, is because, like, I see a place, instead of having institutions, like they're combined, like not old folks homes, but just like people that can't take care of themselves. Whether they had just a hodgepodge of people, but there's so many people that really want to take care of people. They just don't have. First of all, people in health care don't, like, why don't we have places for, like, instead of old folks home for husbands and wife, but like for mothers and daughters, for like, why can't we expand the dynamic and then allow animals in places like that? Like we gotta make a world where people want to live on the world, in the planet. You know what I mean? There's all these rules and regulations and policies and procedures, and I personally won't participate in agencies like that. Like, I circumvent, I work around, I learn how to get what I need without using the mainstream ways that want to, like, I think everybody should just have a plastic card, not tied to anything, but if it makes you feel better, go to the store. If it goes ding, okay, approved, but like nothing has to be there. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I imagined living in a world where money didn't exist. Not what would you do if you had all the money in the world, which is what people commonly misunderstand me when I say. No, it's what if it didn't exist? What would you do? What would you do? if money didn't exist. People have to have money because they have to have things in their mind that sets them apart, what gives them security. But if you know how to do all the things that money can buy, then you don't have to worry about having money to do the things you want to do. I've gotten to do a lot of really cool stuff by just, running across people at a lake and I'm going for a boat ride that I know. You know what I mean? Like random stuff. Unintentional, just because people feel good about themselves and their position in life and they want to share that with other people. But we've created this program of lack. So the people that talk, dude, poverty consciousness exists because rich people believe that there's people that need to be poor and that don't deserve anything because their narcissistic pea-brains tell them things like they should have made better choices. My brother's one of those. I grew up with that. I did everything society told me to do to be a productive citizen. And then I started telling truth about what society was, and society don't want to know about my truth. America don't want to know that America is a liar, because then what they believe to be true is a lie, and they fell for it. And people already feel dumb enough walking around their Crocs and shit. Their idiocracy, thinking that just because they exist and eat a bunch, consume too much, that the world is going to be better. That don't even make no sense. Like all the people that have these ideas of like they really think the world is a better place because they're given a job with a title that gives them some idea of authority in their mind. But if you take these people out of their positions, take them out of their offices, that things would be different. You know what I mean? Like every time some asshole is trying to put me in my place in an office somewhere, or like the DMV or whatever like that, I'd be like, dude, if we were out there and like you got a flat tire and I came along and I was willing to change your tire for you and help you, like this situation would not be like you wouldn't be a fucking cocky asshole motherfucker right now. Is what wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, but people put themselves in positions of power, and then they, because they don't feel like they have power over their kids, so they go to work and they're going to be extra jerky or they don't have power over their employees, so they're going to come home and be extra jerky to their kids or whatever. It's just all control. It's just like meditate, and then you don't have to control everything. What will be, will be. I hate that stuff, but it's true. I don't. When I'm in a spiritual fit condition, I'm not nitpicking and I don't care about everybody out there. I'm worried about myself. People are coming into this energy. See, the way I look at it, okay, my birthday's coming up. I'm a spring chicken. We just got out of Pisces. We just started Aries. Okay, so you have more people that are being born in. Okay, so like spring, like you have like people hold the energy of the day in which they were born. So every year, like my birthday, the weather is just like, it's a beautiful day. So I like to think my birthday is always like, is a gift of a nice day, like weather-wise. I remember one time it snowed in Omaha when I lived there. It didn't stick, it didn't last, but it did snow on my birthday in Omaha. And it's so like, you have people that are Capricorns or people born in the winter. They're cold. They're more, like self-serving. Like, I'm going to do the minimal of I have to do to take care, but I want it done in proper, right ways and everything. Well, that's nice if you got, but I was born on a day at a time, and I don't have earth in my chart. Okay, so I'm all fire and air. So we're coming into a place where it's just all, that's all the collective energy feels is fire and air. And are you noticing what's happening? We didn't get a lot of precipitation. We didn't get a lot of water this winter. Not a lot of snow in a lot of places. Which is fine because Taurons, unuseful skiers, have nothing better to do but go find something else to do. So you don't got air or earth in your, what's the neither? I think that's a, see, because I'm no earth, and so I'm all fire and water and air. And now we're coming into these energies. So this is my natural. This is my baseline. This is like, okay, I can navigate with this. It's other people that don't have this energy in them. They are going to have a harder time rectifying. And when people don't feel good inside, they usually tend to match that uncomfortable feeling outside, is what I found to be true. And so that is why, even when I lived in Oregon, like I used to meditate like an hour and a half. So like the longest I went was like 2, but I can never dip out for more than a couple hours because I'd have to take the dogs out and stuff like that. Like it wasn't just the life that I was living in. But I got to meditate. I mean, I was meditating. I could go down. I could dip down and dip back in like in no time. Like once you get your breathing. You were born on Labor Day. My sister was born on Labor Day. That's in September, right? So you're Virgo. My sister, who died in 2022, Forever 39, I got this for her 6, was born on Labor Day, September 5th, like 1983. She was 9 years younger than me. I said 10, and she's like, I'm only 9! Well, you're dead now, so it don't matter, huh, Jess? See, she did all this stuff I didn't. If I would have just lived from my ego, she died on the back of a motorcycle. And it was a whole bullshit, like leading up to it. She was just all doing a bunch of stuff she knew she shouldn't have been doing. And it killed her. She's a lesson to me. She's still with me all the time. She's more in my energy field than she was when she was dead. I mean, but when she was alive. Like, because we were so far apart, like, she was off having her second round of kids when I was in the military. And then, so, like, when I refound her, when I moved to Oregon, or moved from Oregon to here, and we reconnected, but she was already so far in her addictions that her sober sister is not somebody that she wanted to hang out with. So I have 5 nieces and nephews. I have 3 nieces and 2 nephews, and my older 2 nieces, I met them at my grandma's funeral back in like 07 or 05. One was in like a car seat, the other one was like 2. And my sister started having kids when she was 16. Like young. Like, you know, see, I'm a Virgo sandwich. My brother's a Virgo too. He's August 24th. Virgos, they're both in balance, Virgos. My brother makes $240,000 a year. His title is Assistant Chief Counsel for the state of California. He's an Army JAG. Been in the Army Guard, so he takes shortcuts. You know, my whole life I've heard about how Virgos they're the sign of service. They're the sign of, no, they're the service for themselves, and they got to make everything just right for them, and then that trickles over to service of others if they're completely content. See, but if they're in balance, they never end up completely content, and they're always trying to find that balance with it. They're kind of like Libras in my brain, like that. Like Libras are never, ever, ever. I don't do that alphabet soup. As a matter of fact, you got me wrong. This is my stuff. Straight people like rainbows too. It's cheeky because I'm not, and I always did the rainbow like that. I'm autistic and I'm indigenous, so that's the color wheel. So people could just get off my crotch with that. But I don't do that. I don't believe in. I don't think that nobody gets the rainbow. Like that was what was Gilbert Baker. That was that guy's name who decided that the gays are gonna get the rainbow, and no, they don't. Nobody gets the rainbow, just like nobody should have to pay land and then pay taxes for land. Like, we shouldn't be having to pay for water when human beings die without water. That's stupid. This world really needs to change, because the ideas of what people come up with and that they've made me go along with all this time is stupid. But hey, well, you know, stuff is changing. How's Hawaii doing? Is Hawaii doing good out there? It's flooding, right? Like places where they say, oh, nothing's ever bad here. Everything, this place is paradise. It's been paradise for all time. Whenever I hear things like that, I just think, yet, nothing is good 100%, 100% of the time. Every place, nothing is. So if you live in a place where nothing bad has ever happened, you might want to consider moving, because dues are up. People are paying their dues in the karmic realms on planet Earth. The thing is I preach. I'm ordained, actually. I wed one couple on that Tuesday, 22222. That was the same year my my mom's dog died that year too. I lost two sisters that year. But the guy, the groom, he was from Las Cruces, and he would tell me stories about how Epstein, how girls would go to the park and be like, "Hey, want to come party? You got to screw some old dudes, but you get a pocket full of cash. It's cool." Oh, they are. It's like, you ever hear that story about the shop worker with the clock shop owner, where he wound up all the clocks and they were all going ticky tocky, and then the next morning he came in and all the clocks were lining up. It's the same. Like, conspiracy theory, it's like there's only so many storylines that can be had, and so people are waking up to they are. Like, I don't know, but the way I look at the world is not like anybody else on the internet, because I look at it as like, you have the Greek gods, you have the myths, right? And they play out in constellations in the skies. Well, we have planets that are in us from the time that we were born, and we encompass these same energies. Like, there's astrological alignments that predispose energy that designate how people could potentially act. The thing of it is I believe that we can rise above our astrology because we have free will. And like all those I wonder what it is, like the astrological, we're like mothers, and it's like, it's the same in the myth. It's like the god that ends the children, because like even Zeus like offed his own kids. Like cannibalism, it's something that's been played out the whole time, and then people encompass this energy And then, see, because I'm predisposed for violence and a hoe bag, I should be a violent slut based on my astrology chart. A highly manipulative, slutty, violent bitch. And I've never hit somebody out of anger. I've only protected myself. And I've never, like, I wasn't like Tanya Patton, a girl I got in a fight with in the 6th grade, didn't come to CVI in the 7th because she had a baby. She got pregnant and never came back to school. You know, because the girls that overcompensate want to do what all the grown-up girls do until you're, you know, having a baby when you're 13. So see, I didn't want to do all that stuff that other people did. That was always weird. And then I had a little sister who, you know, I just let people be lessons to me. Do I want to be like them? Then do the things that they do. Do I not want to be like them? I haven't had McDonald's in 5 years. So yeah, do I believe people are waking up? Yeah, because they're also not eating McDonald's anymore. They're also, you know, like I don't eat fast food. I guess the Wendy's in Taos just closed. I used to go there to get like a chicken salad for Mom sometime, and now I just make my own chicken salad. So cut out the middleman. It's a lot better if I just go to Sid's and get some beef and chicken and cook it up, and then I get those bags of like lettuce and stuff like that, the premix, and it's, oh man, they're good. You eat good food, you feel good. And then I have so much energy, that's when I want to use it to go out and do things to help other people. You just got to be careful in this day and age, man. You got people that just that they're out there freaking ending lives just because they want to, just because they don't feel anything. I learned a lot about food a long time ago. My family, because I was so fit, and so because I always had muscle, I weighed more. But you look at me, and I was short and stocky, but when you put me on the scale, like, I think I was 10 and I was 100 pounds, but other girls in my class weren't, right? So like I was 12, my family had me in Weight Watchers, where I had to keep a food journal and write down everything I ate. And then, but I also learned that when your body goes into a place of scarcity when you diet, and then it's going to hang on to everything. And as I got older, I learned that my weight had more to do with my emotions than what I ate. And they said I was hypoglycemic. They've been taking my blood my whole life. So like before I could read, I was reading labels, and if it said sugar was the first word, I couldn't eat that. Like I had to, like they've been training me, so I think I have like body dysmorphia, where I think that I look like morbidly obese and things like that, and I'm not. Like, I'm fine. My body's okay, but you know, like even on my arms, I grew up, I mean, I'm hard as a rock. I mean, I'm fit, right? Like, I got some, you know, but like I grew up, like, this was fat because I can pinch more than an inch. So I'm fat. But I'm not fat. You know, and then I was in the military and they put me on the weight. And then, so men again are telling me my body, I have to make my body in a way that's acceptable to them. And I did it. And I'm going to be 52. So I go out in the world, like I went out today, and like people are like, this bitch. And it's like, yeah, because you're a fucking dude that's 20 years younger than me, and you ain't even fit like me. So yeah, I'm that bitch. Work harder on yourself, be the example. I went to go see the candy lady. I didn't buy a whole pound. I only bought a quarter pound. She bakes good fudge. And her birthday's April 10th. She's an Aries too. And I got Oreo fudge today, see, but I only get a little sweets, and then you go walk around and you drink a bunch of water, and you work for it, is what I learned. And then I live in a world now that everywhere I go, people are just consume, and then they don't feel good. Like the cut of meat I get, the meat that I started getting this meat at Sid's. I get the chicken and the beef there, and then Mom's salmon. She gets sockeye salmon there too. And like there's other stuff I get too, but so like this meat is $17.99 a pound. I can't even remember. I don't know what cut it is, but it is. I eat it for breakfast. I probably had a half pound for breakfast. And so it's just all protein. It has the perfect marbling in it. And then my body is just happy when I eat good food. I have O positive blood. I can never be a vegetarian. I have the oldest blood all the O positive is like we've been around, But I don't know. I think we're figuring out that not everybody is human. Like to be a human, like you're not just a human, you're a human. Like to be a human, like we're Palladian and we're this, and I'm from Sirius B, the dog planet. That's where my soul family is. So, and all these other people are remembering this stuff. Now, I'm not in. You're never gonna find me in Sedona. You're not gonna find me. See, but I'd like to see like it would be cool to have people like and the chicken that I get too, it has veins in it. And I was like, oh my God, how long have I been eating chicken without veins in it? What am I eating? 3D printed, biodegradable, freaking ooze. I guess I'm evolving into a human from my alien side. You just got to go back and forth. It's a frequency, I'm not going to ever disconnect from living from my heart, and that's what aliens do, The butt probes and all that, disconnect. It's just living in a disassociated state. To be a human to me is staying plugged into your heart. Don't do that. It's going to cause somebody harm. Don't do that. It's mean. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. And if you have enough, give whatever left over to somebody that doesn't have enough. But I get this chicken the chicken I get, it's from California, I guess. See, because whenever you see a restaurant that has Cisco or places like that, I don't even want to eat food from Cisco because it's the distributor. Where I shop mostly at Sid's and I get my they have a water deal too, so you could get reverse osmosis, or I like the ionized, where the water's ionized. And so it's a pretty girl. She's in a mood about it. Well, heck, let me just. It's Keef. It's Keefy. Keefy. Kefe is the distributor that they get their food from. So they get. Like this. Mary's chicken. So this stuff. So this is 1.5 pounds. $10.99 a pound. Fed and diet, non-GMO, project standard for avoidance of genetically engineered ingredients. And I believe I looked up before I looked up the farm, but sometimes it's kind of hard. Sanger, California. Pittman Farms in Sanger, California. Sanger, California. Stanley, the best cat in the world to me. And then I go Sanger, CA, and then I look up at Sanger. Opening maps. What you doing, cat in the mood? Where is it? And it's right outside of Fresno. And my dad lived in Fresno. Fresno is where my dad lived when he met my stepmoms. There's Lunatic. Oh, what you doing, pretty girl in the bed? Oh, she's a moody. She's back there pawing on the bed. She's like, it is past my bedtime. How daring you? See, California was a cool place to grow up. But like Fresno, Stockton, Modesto, Bakersfield, Tulare, all that crap, that part just all sucked. I was more, see, when my grandma first moved, she moved to where the witches are because she was a witch. She moved to Los Angeles. Like, I have an aunt and an uncle that were born in Los Angeles. So I was born in San Bernardino, so technically I'm an LA alien. And that's what, but I disassociate too much, so I could never remember lines. So, like, being in Hollywood wasn't, like, the course for me. But my brother is one of the programs. He's a pawn. He's what, just get people to do what you do. And then they won't live for their own lives. I don't want to see people do that. Break the program, Stanley. Look at it and what about it? He wants more to eat. He loves his tiki food. I will put more in your dish before the bedtime in the bits. On a meow and a kitty cat. That cat has moved from Omaha. He rode in the car with 4 dogs and a bird from Omaha, Nebraska, 27 miles in a Nissan Road to Salem, Oregon, and then another 20-something hours from Salem, Oregon to Flagstaff, and then from Flagstaff to Taos, and then we moved twice here, and he don't like riding in the car. Every time we get in the car 30 minutes, he freaking expels his bowels. I tried to, but then he shit, so I just didn't want him in his shit in a cage. So in the truck from Salem to Flagstaff, he was under the seat. Like, I didn't see him. I had to give him water like that. It is so stressful. I hate moving. I have one more move in me, and then I just want people to come to Taos. People can fly to Taos. There's Airbnbs. People love coming here. It's like visiting the past. There's a couple good restaurants. If you like to hike, there's cool hiking trails, stuff like that. There's not really lakes, things like that, but Santa Fe's, like, 45 minutes. The people, it's real pretty. I've been down there one time for a hearing test, like Albuquerque. I don't know, like there's things to do. There's hot springs. People like coming here, so I love the weather. The weather is the best kept secret. This all the places I ever lived, weather's better here than any other place. It don't get it because we're so high. We're like 7,000 feet. Please don't hurt me. Did you see that? He wants to eat my face. Look at those little toe beans. Is I'm not in a mood. And don't you bother me about it. You're bugging me. You good boy. No, he's a great cat. He is. And I didn't realize how affectionate he was. Yeah, he's an unwilling road warrior. So am I. I like being places, but I don't like traveling anymore. Yeah, no, he don't like it. That's why, like, this place that I'm looking at for our forever home is it's it's only a few miles from where we live, and even when we moved here from Arroyo Hondo, it was like 10 miles, but it still fall. It is a nice place, and I think all the old like I'm pretty sure there's more people here now. Like when I first moved here, it was more born and raised. Like it was COVID. Like like you're an outsider. You know, it had all that stupid cousin mentality. And I think that there's now like they're bringing more, this. It's like it's shifted. Like there's more people from other places, and it's so the shift has gone from predominantly locals born and raised to a menagerie of like this ain't your place, it's everybody's place. Like it's more of a but it's so there's a lot of places where there's a lot of trees and then you have the mesa and that can get pretty sketch out there. But any place is sketch, right? But like there's only 6,000 people in the whole town. And then in the county, I think there's maybe 30,000 people. But there's only 2 million people in the whole state. People are not moving to New Mexico. They're moving from New Mexico. Because I think it's all the Epstein shit. See, the refinery gullery. Now, is gas going up where you live? Because we have our own refineries in New Mexico. That's how I know it's all price gouging and all the stuff that they said in economics isn't true. It's just whatever they say in the book, somebody's gonna. That's how they're gonna do it. You know, and like we shouldn't. Gas should not be going up in New Mexico, and it is because somebody feels like it. That's the only reason why prices go up. They could call it economics and, well, no, we have to coop and reap our in this and that. No, it's because you're a greedy son of a bitch and you want to make more money and all the money you have is never going to be enough. So all the money that you could ever earn will never be enough. It's never going to make people really great human beings. Because if it did, the world would be a better place based on that logic. I think about all the times people about like they make it, you know. Yeah, see, I don't know, I think we're 3 something too, but like it shouldn't be that because you're going from down the road up the hill. It ain't no different. It ain't no sweat off your balls. Like it ain't no different. But people are like, oh, everybody else is doing it, so we're gonna do it. It's just political posturing, is what my brother always said. You know, poli sci is acting class. Oh, they're gonna say these things, and then that makes people scared, and then people act accordingly based on their fears. It's 409 in southeast Idaho. I drove through Idaho on my way from Omaha. I don't remember what I haven't gotten gas since the last month when last time I took my car in the shop. I got gas after I got it out, and I've only driven 180 something miles since then. And so, I think it was $3.37 the last time I got gas. I have no idea what it is now. Let's see. Gas in Taos. I have no idea. Where's my Maverick app? I have no idea what gas is. Yep. That's funny. I always get stuff in like Shasta County and Omaha, places I live on Facebook, and some chick that I went to high school with just sent me a comment that I wrote where a lawyer in Redding, California just got sentenced for their third DUI. And I said, yeah, my brother's a trash heap lawyer too. I don't have Gas Buddy anymore though. How much is gas in Taos? Because there's only like 2 places in Taos that I would get gas. So I don't need Gas Buddy anymore. $3.77. But I get mid-range, so it would probably be more than that. So it'd probably be like $4 maybe. Ugh. But like I said, I don't drive very often. I don't drive. The store's like 5 miles away, so like I go to the store once a week. I get water at the same store. I would drive more and take mom. I would take mom for more rides if I didn't think that like it wasn't gonna just die. See, that's the thing. I can't have her in the car and then have it dying. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to get things squared away, but it's 2026 and people aren't qualified to even do like regular maintenance practices. Like, I wonder how many shops. Like, does the mechanic know that every car, like the gaps in the spark plugs, are only supposed to be a certain space in there? Like, do they know that? I don't know. I don't have. Well, see, the state I knew. 29% of the population in New Mexico can't even read. But hey, Breaking Bad, right? Breaking Bad was a cool show that was on TV that glamorized junkies and scumbags that everybody liked. But what they don't realize is that's pretty much how New Mexico is in a lot of places. And so glamorizing, bullshit when there's plenty for everybody. Like, okay, look at all of the industries in New Mexico. That's why I call it the land of the stupid cousin, because weed is legal here. So that's a $1 billion tax industry right there. Mind you, only 2 million people in the whole state. Okay, so $1 billion weed industry. We also pump our own oil, so fuel industry popping, oil's flowing, right? The dividends from all the makeup economics and all the bonds and all that bullshit. Again, $1 billion industry. Does it ever trickle down? No. Remember that Reagan guy that trickled out? Give all the higher ups all the money and they will disperse it as they see fit. Has that ever happened? No, it has never happened. And now the cracks of society are unprecedented. Unprecedented. More scumbags on planet Earth than any in the United States, anywhere. There's puddles of people roaming the earth. People don't have places to live. They don't have clean water. They don't have a place to wash their ass. Yet there's what, cryptocurrency and all this fake bullshit made up stuff where people have numbers in their accounts and the numbers just keep growing. What do they do with that? What do they do with that? It's just like a video game. Just rack up the gold coins over. Just keep it up. Just rack it up, rack it up, rack it up. Yep. I don't like when people try to correct my behavior. Because where were you when things were hard? All I have is my truth. So if people don't like it when my truth is shared, then maybe you should go back and correct the people that treated me the way that I'm talking about. So if you don't like when I talk about my shithead brother, then maybe you should call him and say, why did you leave your sister to take care of your mom by herself? Why did you do that? How come you're not a very good brother? They never ask that. They never go asking, Jerry, why did you forsake? Like, what? Like you left your sister back in 2016? She hasn't had a day off to herself in 5 years because you couldn't hang out with your own mom for a day because you feel bad about how you acted when you were young, and you're still a piece of shit. Yeah. See, people, that's why they cut me out of their lives, because I just have told them the truth my whole life. And when I see my perception, and hey, anybody is welcome that has ever known me. Go ahead, tell your story about me, how you know me, what I did to you, all of it. Go ahead, feel free. Because there's plenty of people that don't like me that I have done nothing to. Nothing. Never had a conversation with them, but they don't like me. I only dislike people I've met. There's a lot of people I don't like their hair. I don't like selfish people. I don't like people that withhold, creature comforts to other people because they feel tiny inside. I have problems with like that. Like, I don't like it when people ignore just ways that they can make the world a better place. Even out in the world, like when I go into town and I get a chili cheese dog and I walk around, I'm always like picking up garbage. You know what Taos is now? Taos is a town where people let their dogs shit on the ground and they leave it. Taos is an official dog shit everywhere place because people come here, whether they visit or they live here, they bring their dogs and then they don't clean up after them because in their mind that's somebody else's problem. And it's not just Taos, it's everywhere. Just emotional control ain't a thing. Self-will run riot all over planet Earth. Just go around, do all those things you want to do, and don't ever consider, disciplining yourself and just not. It's a weird time we live in. Oh well, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna shut this down, go watch some Two Broke Girls, and get comfy. Get some rest. I've been sleeping pretty good. I do this new thing where I put my phone in the other room. And I've been sleeping all the way through the night. And then like I wake up and it's 6. Like, okay, time to start the day. It's pretty cool. So thanks for hanging out. Oh, this is a rad song. If you haven't heard this song, this is a dope song before I go. It's called Spiritual Peace and Happiness. by Lynn Spot. It's a good song. See, I think that's why I figured out that life is just, but it's just a game. It's just a game. And if I could just not take life so serious and end up mad and bitter and like crabby and cantankerous like them, then I feel like I win. If I could still smile and I still have that little sparkle in my eye, I never lost it. I never lost. They've been trying to take my sparkle my whole life. I still got it. That was 20 fucking 6 years ago. That's not bad. Don't let them make you so mad that the anger and rage consume you. That's what I try to tell myself. My hair was brown, a lot browner then. It was long. It was long. It's getting long now, but I gotta trim it up because I'm a hothead. So, I don't know. I'm sorry for my service. This country was supposed to be a lot different than the fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff hijacked it. I think some of us out here are trying to, show people you live from your heart. I don't know. That's the only way. Look, I even had a big old zit on my chin. Never trust people without lips. I got lips. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.